Whoop, 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 whoop. No, I don't like dubstep. So get off with the whoop whoop. Today is Sunday. We've got a lot to do. I just became level 90 on World of Warcraft. Whoop. I should say woot. And I am going to lower my volume. Bam. That's some ear rape right there. And we are going to load. Yes! And we left off with our sister scaring the fuck out of us, as I remember. She was the worst little sister ever. It's in horribly poor taste to enjoy freaking out your brother. Who the hell did she think she was? This was my third dimension. Well, this was why the third dimension would never hold a candle to the second. Indeed.
別に脅かしてないよ。いつもみたいにお兄の生存確認しに来てあげたんじゃん。なのにお兄いないんだもん。なんでナナが30分もお兄のこと心配しながら待ってなくちゃいけないわけ？ナナの貴重な時間が無駄に消えてっちゃったじゃん。お兄のバカ。
Worry? She'd been worrying about me? Like I'd be fooled by such an obvious lie.
で、どこ行ってたの？出かけるなんて珍しいじゃん。携帯にかけても繋がんないし。
I'd left my phone behind at my base. It wasn't like anyone would call me while I was walking around, so no point in holding it onto it.
そもそも、その件何なの？もしかして買ってきたの？
Nanami gazed curiously at the sword.
あ、わかった。アニメのおもちゃかなんかでしょ？ほんと、お兄ってオタクさんだね。しかもこのおもちゃ、ちっとも似合ってないよ。さっきだってへっぴり腰で構えちゃってて、思い出したら笑えてきた。
Wow. Ignoring Nanami, I undid the lock on the container house door and began to go in.
ちょっと無視すんな。
帰れ。
Yeah. If she'd come to check on my survival, she didn't have anything left to do here. She was constantly making fun of me, and every time she came here, all she did was complain. But if it bothered her that much, she didn't have to come in the first place. It was a hassle for me as well.
あのね、わざわざ様子見に来てあげてんだから、もっとありがたがってよ。せっかくお土産まで持ってきたのに。
Don't care. Nanami spoke sulkily, pouting.
お土産？
そう、お母さんが持ってけって。ほら。
Nanami handed me clementines. Oh god. There were about 10 of them, held in red netting. I had mixed feelings about this. I'd eat clementines if they were in front of me, but they weren't my favorite food or whatever.
というわけで、ナナもちょっと一服したいから一緒に食べてあげる。
帰れ。
Told. Oh god, the told of the rings. Whew.
もう、妹がお土産持ってきて、しかも一緒に食べてあげるって言ってるんだよ。もっと喜びなよ。
You mad though. What precisely about eating clementines was Nanami was supposed to make me rejoice? Anyway, it was obvious that she simply wanted to eat clementines from the start, because she'd been a glutton since we were little. She used to eat up my share too. Who knew how many fights we'd started that way? Paying no attention to the fact that I didn't want her there, Nanami went into my base. There was nothing to be done for it, so I followed after her.
お茶ある？あったかいのがいいな。
Yeah, I don't really seem to have anything to warm up anything. As if I would. Basically, I don't drink anything besides Coke. Nanami stood down on the sofa and immediately pulled out a clementine. Sighing, I leaned the D-sword up against my computer desk. I didn't need the bangle in my pocket, so I lobbed it.
あれそれ何？
Quickly spotting the bangle, I tossed away at the floor. Nanami picked it up.
へえ、かわいいバングルじゃん。これも買ってきたの？お兄にしてはいいセンス。
Seems legit. Cute, she says. What about it? No matter how I looked at it, it was a piece of kitsch one could buy for the likes of 500 yen. Nanami was the only one with bad taste. Was the one with bad taste. Disregarding her, I took one of the clementines and went to sit in front of my PC.
ねえねえ、なんでこれ捨てちゃうの？
だっていらないし。
じゃあさ、これナナにちょうだい。
はあ？
いいじゃん、どうせ捨てるならさ。たまにはお兄ちゃんらしく妹にプレゼントの一つでもしてよ。
I agree. You call it a present, but it's an unneeded item that you started coveting all on your own.
勝手に持ってけば。
ほんと？やったー。
What an uncontrollable chick. Gotten the go-ahead from me, she put on the bangle around her wrist right away. She was pretty cheap. Sister get delighted over such a cheap item.
お兄、どう？似合う？
全然。
Oh! Wow. That is wow. The hunt for Told October.
おっそ。お兄のバーカ。
I was supposed to have been giving her a present, wasn't I? So what's up with this treatment? Little sisters weren't supposed to call their brother stupid. I think you've got that wrong. What kind of education have you been receiving, huh? Go play 100 irage.
バーカ。
She was grinning perkily. I was getting really pissed off here.
気に入っちゃったからもう返さないもんね。
You're really starting to piss me off. I'll rip off your head and shit down your neck.
っていうか、お兄からプレゼントもらうなんて初めてのような気がする。しょうがないから大事にしてあげるよ。
Like I care. No one asked you to treasure it. I hadn't gotten it for Nanami's sake to begin with.
もう用は済んだんだから帰れ。僕は暇じゃないんだ。邪魔するな。
The moment I said it, Nanami pursed her lips.
そんな言い方しなくてもいいじゃん。
Into the tree mouth. Oh god, it's a tree. What? And it's in the wrong way.
それにみかんまだ食べてないし、お茶もまだ出してもらってないよ。
おめえに飲ませるお茶はね。
The way he said that was so brutal.
か
Nanami glared at me fixedly. Her shoulders tensed with anger. At last, her eyes started to well up.
分かったよ。そんなに邪魔なら帰る。
ああ、さっさと頼む。
さっさと。さっさと来ろ。
お兄のバカ。お兄なんてみかんの皮で目つぶし食らって失明しちゃえ。
Wow.
あとバングルは返さないからね。バカ。
Yelling in a voice that resounded piercingly through the room, Nanami had grabbed her bag and bolted out with tremendous energy. Oh my god, Nappa! Vegeta? What does the scouter say about her power level? Oh, oh, Goku, such power. Oh. Fucking Dragon Ball Z dub. Wow. That is brutal. That storm-like time had finally come to an end. How, if Nanami always wore me out? Why did she come here every week, and when it rubbed me the wrong way so much? Becoming a bit observant, will ya? Become a bit observant, will you? You know that rubbed always gets me like in a Freudian Freudian mood. Reminds me of Nick's Let's Play of, I think it was Sonic 3 and Knuckles, where he saw this rock, and he said Freudian slip. I think he said cock instead of rock. Oh shit.
ファーストメルトは期待以上の結果に終わりました。GE レートの上昇率は当初の予測からわずかな誤差があった程度です。
バイオリズムコントロールも順調なのかね。
渋谷の GE レートは他のエリアと比べて高い値を持っていると同時に安定性についても特筆したものがあります。
それゆえに意図的に操作しやすいということか。そして渋谷にいる人々のバイオリズムを急激に引き上げることもまた。
実験結果についてはレポートをご参照ください。納得していただける成果を上げております。
貴様が成果を出すのは当然だ。そのために高い金と多くの人材を提供しているのだからな。
Looks like Nozomi Corp is up to no good. Because they're in a black room!
実効性については理解しているよ。この数ヶ月だけでも我が会の信者が数倍に膨れ上がっているからね。
Oh god.
それではプロジェクトノアは次の段階へと進ませます。よろしいですね。
コードサンプルの件はどうするのだ。すでに3人分は確保したとはいえ、目標数値には達しておらんではないか。
いかにも。数値達成のためには最低でも5人分はなければ厳しい。
サンプル保持者は集まりつつあります。あとは採取するのみ。
ならばその件は任せる。
信仰の救いあれ。くれぐれも慎重にことを進めるように。
はい、心得ております。
Sounds like a plot to me. So that's actually the first sign we see of the bad guys, I guess. Don't yawn. It was 5 in the morning when I checked my PC clock, biting back a yawn. Today, too, I'd spent ages hunting in Insu, but no monsters had dropped the rare item I'd been looking for. No success, even after pulling an 8-hour marathon. Well, but this kind of thing happened a lot. I glanced quickly at the side of my desk. There leaned the D-sword I'd bought yesterday. I'd left it close enough that I could take it up at any time. On a side note, I'm yawning. This sword didn't radiate any light whatsoever. I was hoping that sooner or later it would metamorphose into one as cool as the shapes as Senna's, but inside my monitor, Grimm's avatar happened to be right in the middle of leveling up. My Nightheart had reached the maximum level, so he wouldn't be going any higher. Same for me. Rubbing my sleepy rubbing my sleepy eyes, I thought to myself that maybe it was getting to be the time for me to create my next character. The third, after Lizelot. Don't call it third child, please. Experience points, huh? Uh, it was a familiar enough concept in RPGs, but I thought experience point also existed in real life. When I first started Ensu, I was a even I was a baby who didn't know right from left, but now I could boast of being the strongest in Basilad, with my name of lightning fast Nightheart, if I could open up my log, known all throughout the land. For example, it wasn't unthinkable that the person behind me might, by some chance, happen to lose some of the experience points he built up. Then maybe it would be all too natural for me to forget things I'd known. Maybe the fuzziness in my memories could be traced back to the same source. And then there was Shogun and the demon girl. Before my experience points got cleared, perhaps it'd been perfectly normal for me, the person behind me, to post under the handle of Shogun in chats, and to spend time in real life with the demon girl with Rimi. No, that was certainly improbable. But in the past I might have possessed a power capable of letting me square off with that demon girl. Was I the only person who thought like this? Although I felt like it wasn't a particularly strange or mysterious way of thinking. Because the only thing human beings have to go by are the fundamental standards they've come up with all on their own. Maybe even now, not just me, but everyone in the whole world, was judging everything wrong while living out my day-to-day life. When I was little and went to the dentist, he told me, "You're a good boy for putting up with so much pain." At the time, it made me think I was kind of amazing for enduring the pain all the way through, and I simply became proud of myself. Thinking back on it now, however, that comment had probably been based on the degree of pain by the relative progression of the cavity, but even with the exact same level of pain, there might be people who could bear it and people who couldn't. In other words, I suspected that people might be utterly different in how they recognized and experienced such situations, or sensations rather. Take giving birth, for instance. Online, I'd often see people saying that though women are able to hold out through the pain of labor, it would be inherently impossible for men. Take marathon runners, for instance. Maybe they excel not because of the power of their bodies, but instead because of their ability to endure pain. Take sadists and masochists, for instance. If there are people who enjoy hurting others, then there are also those who feel pleasure when others hurt them. In short, I figured that the way people felt things, and the strength of their inner nature, their ability to put up with it, varied from person to person. Perhaps the level of pain and the toothaches and headaches I endured from time to time in truth far surpassed the range of pain an ordinary person could take, and I passed the same level of pain to someone else in the same manner as a relay runner passing on his baton. The agony of it would make them go into shock and die. The conclusion this led to was the selfish delusion that maybe I was a very special type of human being.
特殊な人間か。っていうか、何を大げさな。
Though I'd rejected that idea, surely everyone had these kinds of delusions. Every man longs to be the strongest in the world. Every man wants to think they're special, that they've been chosen. Ain't that just like Ryan? A man chooses, a slave obeys. Obey! Obey! And then I love it. It's like, Thanks, boyo. Even I was a Chinaman for once. Or was it for a year? Yeah, I think it was. Anyway, they want to think a dramatic, stormy life like in TV shows and movies is awaiting them in their future. It was a so-called yearning to be a hero. To put it more crudely, being self-centered. Of course, I too had these kinds of desires. Indeed, it might be my destiny. It's my destiny to defeat the demon girl. But then, pardon me, if I were told to carry that out in real life, I'd require that number of conditions be met first. At least, the one thing I really needed was the ability to use cheat codes for the stuff like secret attacks or perhaps invincible mode. I didn't want to undergo any pain or fear. If I couldn't do that, if, in other words, I was supposed to do it with my own power, I definitely wouldn't. Which was why, if the person behind me accidentally let my experience points get wiped, it could cause me tremendous damage. Who knows? Maybe we are controlled by huge noobs playing an online World of Warcraft type game called Life. And someone is controlling all our actions. Isn't that great? We're all bound to the same hive mind. Oh yes, I also posted that I found that guy I told you about sitting there with the sign about, kami or something, like God, blah 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 blah. Now that seems more likely since we just heard someone talk about church. And if you watch the latest episode, I put a link in the description of the video and its timer where the guy shows up. So we've seen him twice now, maybe even more. I might have missed it. I'm not really paying that close attention to the CG anymore. Anyways, if you can hear like this sound, it's because I have like this wound on my nose and pus keeps pouring out. It's really irritating and it hurts every time I touch it. When I pull my nipple, it flushes the toilet. Oh dude, I work at Hot Topic. Can I take your order? Take a sip. Oh god. Anyway, today I got to school just in time not to be late. I guess it was indeed unreasonable to play online games till morning on a day when I had school. I wouldn't have made it if I hadn't run. Oh, poor you. When I reached the front of my classroom, I breathed deeply to collect myself. I mustn't do anything to draw my classmates' attention. For me, coming late would be a fatal mistake. My life would implode as soon as some juvie set his eyes on me. I eased my way into the classroom. My face was lowered. I mustn't lock eyes with anyone. Of course, I didn't give them any kind of thoughtless greeting like, "Good morning." I turned myself into air, so as to make others pick up on my existence as little as possible, and headed for my seat. I always did things the same way. And today as well, I made it to my seat without encountering any problems, and lowered myself into it, until Remy showed up. Am I right? I soon plastered myself flat against my desk. At this rate, I'd be safe until homeroom started. But I only relaxed for a breath, until someone tapped me lightly on the back.
Yo, タク。今週は3回も学校来てんじゃねえか。真面目だな。
Missing me again. Though I was kind of sick of him, I'd feel bad for ignoring him. So I started to raise my head and hesitated. Was this Missimi, the real one? The day before yesterday, I had done as the demon girl told me and called him. At the time, he acted undeniably strange. To begin with, he'd answered by saying that the demon girl was our classmate, as if this were perfectly normal, even though I knew it wasn't so. Maybe the demon girl had brainwashed the current Missimi on the contrary. On the contrary, there was also the possibility that she'd switched him with someone else.
おい、どうした？早くも爆睡モードか？
An electronic sound suddenly rang through the classroom. I sensed a faint vibration near my chest. It was my cell phone. By God! Shit! Now of all times! Oh my God! What kind of idiot would call at a time like this? I think it might be the coppers. On top of that, even though I was sure I had set it to vibrate, the ringtone was ringing at the same time. I might have messed up the settings.
鳴ってるぞ、タク。
I know that much. Should I hurry up and answer it? But if I did, Missy would know that I've been pretending to sleep. Besides, I don't like talking on the phone. Except if I didn't pick it up, it would bother the rest of the class. Judging by how my ringtone was reverberating through the classroom right now, things were pretty damn bad. I wasn't supposed to stand out. This was incredibly bad.
おーい、出ないのか？マジで寝てる？
Shit! While I wavered over what to do, I'd completely lost my chance. I couldn't move. Just then, the sound and vibration died down. It must have switched to voicemail. I let out a relieved breath in such a way as to keep Missimi from catching me at it. I've been right to learn how to use voicemail.
なあ、タク。相手は誰だ？まさか女か？この前一緒に帰ったあのメガネの子だろ。そうなんだろ？
Damn it! You're so noisy. Please don't do anything more to interfere with me, because that phone call already made me stand out much more than I should have. Had Missimi always been this persistent? Yeah, he seems like that guy. Though his forwardness remained the same, I felt like he'd been a little more sensitive in the past.
やめなよ。
Shrug. I heard that voice from close by Missimi-kun.
そっとしておいてあげたら、大臣。なんだか疲れてるみたいだし。
She was in this classroom as though it were natural for her to be here.
どうせゲームのやりすぎだろ。お前、タクに甘すぎるぜ。
だって大臣は女の敵だし、そういう人には優しくしません。
She was chatting away as though it were natural for her to do so. She was blending in as though it were natural for her to belong with us. I was too horrified to raise my head. I didn't want to acknowledge the fact that she was here.
ま、別にお前に優しくしてもらわなくても、俺には優しくしてくれる女はたくさんいるんだよ。
だからそういう発言が良くないんだってば。彼女さんが聞いたら泣くよ。今の大臣の彼女が誰だかわかんないけど。ほら、チャイム鳴った。先生来るよ。
Had the demon girl truly been my classmate from the beginning? No, that was impossible! 2 days ago she hadn't been there. At least the only person who had come to talk to me that day was Missimi. Yesterday I hadn't come to school. And today she was here. How? Had she wormed her way in? When the chime signaled the start of homeroom... When the chime signaling the start of homeroom rang, everyone took their own seats. Sensing that, I gingerly raised my head. I surveyed my surroundings with my eyes alone. I wanted the voice from earlier to have been an illusion. To prove that to myself, I had to make sure that the girl wasn't anywhere in this classroom. I didn't see her. I didn't see that girl's form anywhere. Had she been a hallucination after all? My seat was in the 5th row from the front. There were 9 rows in total. She wasn't in any of the rows in front of me, which meant behind me. But I couldn't turn around. I couldn't do something so likely to catch others' attention. Shit. I felt incredibly fidgety. Was she really in here or not? My neck muscles weren't prickling. No one was looking at me. I didn't feel a gaze. Wasn't... Which one? Staring steadily down at the top of my desk. I attempted to search out that girl's existence by her presence alone. Right then I heard the sound of our homeroom teacher entering the classroom. I've forgotten his name. I had the feeling that it'd been something like Tsukaji or Tsukada. He was a PE teacher who graduated from a PE college, a total musclehead, but he wasn't hot-blooded and didn't use corporal punishment. If I had to put it one way or another, I'd say he was the type to get a joke. For some reason, the class started going into a commotion, but at the moment my attention was completely occupied by seeking out the demon girl. Like I could possibly detect her through the presence alone. This wasn't a manga. Was I a fool or what? Oh god, oh man. The teacher muttered. I see. That's the reason why there'd been a fuss. Is that the blonde girl with the pigtails? Sounds like a lolly to me. I haven't heard the transfer student speak. Was there really someone there? I cast a look at the teacher's podium. Yep. There was someone there, no doubt about it. Welp, that's it for this time around. I'll see you guys later. And I'll just continue recording this right after this. So it's 5:20 for me in the afternoon. We should be fine. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.